and welcome to a brand new edition of Dur or Die. My name is John Polnik. This is a discussion about Porsche stuff, along with my very smart, intelligent, smarter than me partner, Mr. Duane Wik. How are you, Duane?
Hello. Good. Thanks for having me again.
I'm not having
part of you. Well, yes.
This is your show. You're my partner.
It's our show.
It's our show.
Let's share it.
We share.
Okay.
It's
good.
like that. We'll do
That's
that.
settled.
It's settled. We've been drinking a lot as we sit here in the Rami studio in the Container Park in downtown Las Vegas. If you're ever in downtown Las Vegas, come down to the Container Park. You can't miss the Container Park. We have a giant praying mantis that shoots flames out of its antennae.
Yeah. Can you light a cigarette off of that?
If
Just
you're as
asking for
tall
a friend.
as you, maybe.
Okay. Nice.
Certainly not if you're as tall as me, which is to say not
He should
tall
shoot
at
flames out of its rear end
I
as
shoot
well as
flames
the...
out of things. Look, listen, we want to say hello to our friend Mental. That's it. His name is Mental. It's like Madonna or Prince.
One word, one name.
Just one word name.
One word
I
name.
kind of like that. What would your name be if it was just one word?
Just God.
Whoa. Someone has been drinking.
Kidding.
What'd you
Kidding
put in that-
people.
what'd
Come
you
on.
put in that drink? Damn.
I don't know. That's all I could come up with.
Maybe I should not have commented or complimented Duane Wik so strenuously
So,
at
JP,
the opening of the show. Yes.
I have to tell you, the Container Park is a great destination. Very cool thing if you're going to come to Vegas. But you know what else is a great destination and a great event?
Pray tell.
Luftgekühlt and Luftgekühlt 8, which is coming up in October. A legendary and much heralded event for us Porsche Files.
really is.
Are you going, number one?
Well, of course.
You are. Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. We went last year to Indy, which was kind of not that well attended, but I think they knew that because it was a smaller venue. They had it at the Coca-Cola factory in Indianapolis. I thought it was amazing. They always put on a great show, but Southern California, I mean, you can't beat it from the sheer number of people that have Porsches out there, especially the air-cooled people.
Well, we should back up.
Okay.
I can't imagine
take it
anyone
back.
watching the show doesn't know what Luftgekühlt is, but let's talk
right.
about what Luftgekühlt
Sure.
is. Luftgekühlt is Luftgekühlt, however you pronounce it. I
Yeah.
still don't know. I don't know if I'll ever know.
I have to say it slowly because it's a tough one to... Yeah.
It's like Luftgekühlt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you really go Luftgekühlt. Luftgekühlt.
You got to put the G in there, I think, though.
Mental,
I
how
think
do
you
you
do.
pronounce Luftgekühlt? He doesn't even...
Luftgekühlt. Ironically, I have that as my license plate, so
You
I'm
do.
constantly
You've
telling
gone
people
full
I still
bore
can't
here,
pronounce it,
So-
and I'm starting to take German lessons. But
Luftgekühlt is a festival.
Yeah.
It's a one-day car
it means
show.
air-cooled.
Right. It means air-cooled, and it is a festival for air-cooled Porsches only. It is not, but this isn't just like a casual car show. This is the kind of car show where you have to submit your car online
Oh, yeah.
to
you have
be
to submit.
accepted into the Luftgekühlt. Then the Luftgekühlt gods.
After you're denied, then
That's a whole. We'll talk about being
first
denied.
step is just
Yeah.
submit. Second, be denied.
And historically, Luftgekühlt started out. So we're on Luftgekühlt 8.
Yeah.
There have been 7 previous shows. Actually, there have been 8 shows because there was one in London as well, right?
There was.
Was it London or Germany?
There
I
was,
think it London.
yeah, somewhere in the UK.
Yeah.
But there's a second. There was another one
Was there
in Europe.
another-
Yeah, I
in
think Germany
Germany
as
or
well.
something
Yeah.
like that? Yeah.
So there's been 10.
So the show started out at the Deus Machina Ex Machina show shop in Venice Beach.
Mhm.
Luftgekühlt 1. The first 2 had like 30 to 60 cars, something
Yeah, it was
like
tiny.
that. It's very small. Luft 3 was really kind of the start of the phenomenon. It happened back in, 2016 or something like that, 15.
Mhm.
And that was at the Moderna factory in
The furniture
Central LA.
factory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And that was car porn. I
Yeah.
mean, the photos.
Were you there?
No, but
Okay.
I mean, I looked at many videos, many photos from that event, and I mean, like I said, there was just a lot of eye candy, a lot of really neat stuff, and a collection that you wouldn't really see unless you went to Stuttgart and went to the Porsche Museum or whatever. There was amazing cars with a lot of history. So that's the point. When I saw that, I was like, okay, the next time they're doing this, I'm there.
Yeah. There were so many people from Las Vegas that I was trying to convince to go. Very mutual friends.
You
of
went
ours.
to that show?
I was at Luft.
Goodness. Wow.
And that really was kind of like the beginning of a lot for me personally. For those of you who don't know, I have a YouTube channel called Your Fascination. I have a television show called Porsche Road Trip TV with Adam Carolla. There was something magical about Luft 3 that I had no idea I was rolling into something that would be so significant.
Mm-hmm.
Some of my best friends in the world I met there. I had no idea that's what I was going to. I thought I was going to a Porsche car show.
Yeah.
I rolled into LA. I stayed at an Airbnb. This was the first time I had ever stayed in an Airbnb.
There were a lot of firsts that weekend.
Yeah, it really was.
Let me interrupt for just a second because it's not a car show. It's really like an art exhibit,
Culture.
if you will. It is. So I think that's one of the things that really appealed to you, because I know you're into art, you're into brands, marketing, kind of like the whole thing around good art design and things like that. And Patrick Long, Jeff Schwartz, am I saying that right?
Short, yeah, something. There's no S at the end, yeah.
Schwartz. I mean, they kind of have that design sensibility, and the show that they put on reflects all those amazing attributes. I think that appeals to you. It appeals to me, and obviously a lot of other people as well.
Luft 3 was organic.
In what way?
It was very big, but Luft 4, 5, 6, 7. By that point, the show was very curated, and they had figured out that there's a thing going on here. Luft 4 was full of PCA members,
right?
Pleated pants. It's like the word got out. It's like the cool band that. Well,
that was the first one I went to. So what are you saying exactly?
I'm saying that you missed out. Honestly,
no. I mean,
really
trust
did.
me. I would have loved to have gone to Luft 3. Luft 4 was cool as well. I mean, it was in Long Beach. It was in a beer factory. Or not a beer.
It was at the port. Yeah, it was
at the port and like some big warehouses, and I mean, yeah.
But it was totally like the actual show was very curated, and it was beautiful, and it was just an unbelievable experience above and beyond any car show. It's not like most people think of a car show as something like Cars and Cafe. Cars and Cafe is our car show in Las Vegas.
That's a good one.
If you're ever here, if you're ever in Las Vegas on the last Sunday of the month, come down to the Arts District. Highly recommend. Thank you, Mental. It's like a mini Luft.
It's
but
quite good.
If you have an aesthetic, car shows, a lot of times you go to a car show and it's just rows of cars in an open parking lot.
And everybody has their hood open. They're trying to show off their whatever it is.
Yeah. Luft,
that's a rule at Luft. We should specify,
no open
right?
hoods,
no open deck lids. You can't, I mean, they actually will, they strictly forbid it there.
Yeah. I mean, well, every single car is curated. All the cars are put in specific places based on how it relates to the location. And for the record, Luftgekühlt is in a different location every time. Most car shows are in the same place every time.
Yeah, down at the car lot on Sunday at the Chevy dealership or whatever it is.
Or even big car shows, like most concourse. If you go to Car Week in Monterey, you go to Works Reunion. It's on a big golf course.
Yeah.
Sometimes they move from one golf course to the other, but it's pretty much the same thing. You go to Quail, or you go to any of those things. It's all kind of like a big open space, rows of cars kind of laid out in the most efficient manner. Luftgekühlt is like a complete, like total, they just like say screw all that, and they find small confined spaces that don't have enough room, and they curate every single car so that the aesthetic, it's a photographer's paradise.
It really is. Until all the people start walking by. That was actually a running gag at Luft 6.
Yeah.
That you literally could not get a picture of anything because someone would walk. No one gave an F.
There's too many people.
There's just too many people.
Yeah.
So they did have you could get in early, I guess, press pass. Get
you
photos,
can buy. But look, here's the thing. So what you're talking about, Luft 6, if anybody knows, most people probably know Luft 6 was actually at Universal Studios.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
I consider Luft 6 the greatest car show of all time.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
I consider Luft 3 the most significant car show of all time. Because the size and scope of Luft 6 is, I don't know how they'll ever top that. It's not possible. They have the backlot of Universal Studios. Geez. Oh my God. God.
What does it take to make that happen, first of all? You
got to be someone like Patrick Long and all the, and they have
Porsche
factories backing that show. But above and beyond Luftgekühlt has always been kind of like the Southern California, LA thing. And then they depart when we had when COVID happened. They were talking about moving Luftgekühlt to was it North Carolina or South Carolina?
I want to say
one of the Carolinas. Doesn't matter. They were going to move it to the East Coast, and that was
a tobacco farm.
Yeah, it was like, wait, what? What are we doing? And I'm kind of with them because there's how could you possibly top Luft 6?
You really had to have a departure, and I think they were trying to be fair to East Coast enthusiasts. Who, number one, there's a whole group of cars on the East Coast, maybe even the Midwest, that haven't been showcased in a venue like Luft. So I think that's what they did, and then it couldn't happen, right? They had to cancel it because of COVID. And then they did the Midwest show, which we went to as well, and then back to the left coast.
So they had the Luft 7 was Indianapolis, and it was neat. But if you had been to if you had never been to a Luftgekühlt, it was like, oh my God, this is great. Everybody was there, had a great time, and all the people there a lot of the people there had never been to another a Luft before. Yeah. So it was a fantastic experience. Greatest car show in Indianapolis, that's for sure. But if you had been to any other Luft, you're like, okay. It was kind of like, really?
Yeah, there were a fraction of the cars there, and a fraction of the exclusive, one of one, Jerry Seinfeld's, first whatever,
Yeah.
None of those cars. Well, a couple race cars were there, but
there were some amazing cars there. It was a beautiful car show, but it just wasn't the experience. Here's the thing about Luft, and we're going to talk about it right after this. Hey guys, I'm super excited to tell you about our sponsor, Guys Customs. That's Guys, GYX _customs. That's how you spell it. Guys Customs bracelets. These things are amazing. Check them out. They're handmade in America, custom bracelets made to match your watch or your car. These things are unbelievable. I have 3 or 4 of them myself. My partner Michael Deeb has a bunch of them. They're pretty addictive once you get one. Each one of them are bespoke. We're talking carbon fiber. We're talking titanium. We're talking stainless steel, glass. There's none of this cheap Chinese garbage that you see a lot of bracelets being made out there. These ones are super high quality. They're made right here in America. When you go to Guys Customs on Instagram, it's about the only place that you can order one of these. When you DM the artist, you're actually reaching the real artist when you DM Guys Customs at Instagram. And she will make you a bracelet made to match that special watch, that special car, or that special person that has a special watch or a special car and they want something really, really cool in their life. They make the most amazing gifts. I get compliments on mine all the time. Everywhere I go, people are like, wow, that's really cool. You can see in the pictures, these beads, the colored beads are PTS. They're paint to sample. So if you have a specific color code for your car, she'll have beads made that are specifically painted to match your car or your watch. It's unbelievable. You got to get one of these Guys Customs bracelets. Check them out. They support us, and we really, really, really want to support them. Guys Customs bracelets. All right, so here's the thing about Luftgekühlt, and I know that, okay, you can compare Luft 3, 4, 4 was in Long Beach, 5 was in the, what was it, the lumber yard, the Canal lumber yard. And for the record, maybe the worst marketing for a car show of all time. It was Luftgekühlt, which is a word with an umlaut. What's the little 2 dots above a U? Umlaut?
Something like that.
Something like umlaut. That. So they had a picture, like a black and white picture of the lumber yard and the word Luftgekühlt. And it was like, I don't know what the slogan was, but it was very I don't know, Nazi death camp looking. It was like, this is not working for me, guys. You
Yeah.
probably should have thought that through.
I don't remember that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. But
Work will set you free or something like that. It was like,
yeah.
oh my god,
not
you
an
guys
association you want with a German car,
yeah,
right?
German words and yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but that was a truly great show. I really liked 5 kind of better than maybe 4 because it was more of a return to 3. But anyways,
Yeah.
whatever.
Any speculation on where it's going to be this year? Like,
Well,
what are you thinking?
I don't know where it's going to be, but it's going to be in LA, and that's the important thing. Because the thing about Luftgekühlt is not where Luftgekühlt is, because what happened, Luftgekühlt is always on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Which means Saturday, Friday, there's all these other things going on. So you go
is
go to LA.
huge. That's what that's what you don't know about it is like you go to LA and you get to go to all these custom shops like Emery and Wilhoit. They all have like open.
Sure, Benton. All the big car shops open up their shops and have open houses. There are drives. There are car shows. There's all these. I mean, look, the Breakfast Club on Friday. Everybody goes up to Newcomb's Ranch.
Yeah.
Our friend Ben on Saturday always holds a drive in the morning. And the Professor Run is. Do you remember Luft 6 weekend? Everyone was going up to, I don't know if that was Saturday. I think that was Friday. It was Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And there was this organic car show that just sprung up out of nowhere on the side of the road.
There must have been like 50. No, at the little side one, there was like a handful.
Yeah, it wasn't. There was no plan. It was just like everybody just showed up. It was on like upper Little Tahunga on the Angeles Crest. And all of a sudden there's a Gunther Works car and there's you. And there's all these, just everyone we knew, all of our best friends, our friends from P-Car Talk and all these guys are just like, all of a sudden we're just there.
Yeah,
on
that
the
was really
side
cool.
of the road.
But that's how it was the whole weekend.
The whole weekend.
Yeah.
Everywhere you went was all your best friends or people that you'd been following on the internet for years and never got a chance to meet. That's the gold. That's the magic of Luftgekühlt that you cannot get on the East Coast.
Right.
Because
or can you?
They haven't been able to get it together. There was nothing like that in Indianapolis. It just didn't come together. And maybe it would have in Carolina if they were able to get if the COVID thing hadn't happened, maybe that would have been a thing. But they're just I mean, and it's not to say that Indianapolis there weren't lots of great people and friends to meet and stuff, but there just wasn't this like culture, this ecosystem built around it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing is ever going to come close to that ecosystem that Southern California has for air-cooled. I mean, that's the kind of place where you'll see an air-cooled Porsche on a weekday, just driving randomly because there are so many there. Here in Vegas, I mean, it's a rare occurrence if I see another, air-cooled 911. So,
what was your favorite experience in Luft 6?
Let's see. Is that the Universal Studios one?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to change that question. And I'm going to put the same question out to you guys. What if you were at Luftgekühlt, any of the Luftgekühlts, what's your favorite Luftgekühlt experience? And if you were never at a Luftgekühlt, what do you hope to experience at Luftgekühlt? Tell us in the comments below. Hit the subscribe, like, and notification button if you haven't. We're having this silly Porsche discussion every day on the Do or Die podcast. So we really want to hear from you guys. Let us know what your favorite Luftgekühlt experience was and what you hope to see at Luft 8 if you're going. Duane, what's your favorite all-time Luftgekühlt experience?
I don't think I can nail it down. I think it, like you said, it's the experience. It's the entire weekend. I went with a buddy. I drove my car, and we stayed close to the venue. And stupidly, I left my car parked at the hotel when I should have driven it because I didn't get accepted into the show. And I thought
were a Luft reject.
I was a Luft reject that year. But what I found out later was people didn't show up and that they were actually waiving some people that had cars that they liked beyond the parking garage. So
how on earth did your car not get accepted? Your license plate has a Nevada
that's
license
probably
plate
why
that says
they're
Luftgekühlt.
Don't do that.
Come on, Patrick Long. What the hell, man?
I mean, and in retrospect, I saw another car that was similar to mine that I thought if they had to pick between my car and this particular,
shut up! Your car is magnificent.
I don't know. I had appreciation for another narrow body major. There was only one other one in the whole show, and it was cool.
Our good friend Bradley Brownell
Yeah.
from Flat Sixes, formerly of Jalopnik, one of the DWA founders and one of the originators of Radwood, has the crappiest 912 of all time.
I think, yeah. No, but that was a 914.
No, his was a 912.
I know, but I think I know where you're going.
And his was the crappiest car of all time. Crappiest. Yeah. And his car was accepted. Our good friend Mikey P's 914,
but Bradley's,
which was my 914 before I sold it to Mikey's 914 got accepted, but my 911, neither of my 911s got accepted.
No one from Vegas besides the 914 and I think
that was they were kind of focusing on 914.
Yeah, it was the 50th anniversary of the 914, so I think I don't know.
Anyway,
it is what it is.
So we had at Der Faszination, we had created some T-shirts that said "Luft Reject." And we took the Luftgekühlt logo and put the Luft. And
shortly after,
Luft Reject,
thereafter, got a cease and desist.
And we put it out. We're like, "Hey, we didn't get accepted. So here's the consolation prize. If you didn't get accepted, send us your rejection notice, and we'll let you buy one of these T-shirts. They were limited edition T-shirts. We only made 100 of them, and I got a text from our good friend Patrick Long, who said, "Hey, we know this isn't a cash grab, so that's fun. But don't make any more, or we're going to sue the living crap out of you." That's basically what I was getting out of it. And which was pretty cool of him to let us let that go.
Not just in a lawyer letter. So
yeah.
Kudos
Cease and
to him
desist would have been lame, but so he kind of let us get
No, but
away with that.
I think the whole thing behind that was in previous Lufts, there was a corral. Right, where you could, if you drove from Vegas, which it's 4, 5, 6 hour drive. It's not huge. There are people that drove much further than that, but if you drove a significant distance, you could park your car in the corral, and then you're kind of part of the show. There was a separate car show, and then there was the curated show.
I need to interject here because that was actually one of I was so ticked off at Luft 4. My experience was sullied
around the.
Luft 3, you paid your $50, whatever, and you were part of the show, right? There was no here's my car.
This felt like
accepted,
really
you're not
expensive
accepted.
Parking that was next door, right? For
And
you're talking about
Luft 3, we were all lined up. I met people in line. There was hundreds of us in line to get into Luft 3. In the crappiest part of downtown LA at 6 a.m. We're all sitting there. We're all tired. We're drinking coffee or whatever. I met Frankie. Frankie from the Audi store. I just randomly was behind him in line. I'd never met him before. He was from Las Vegas. I was from Las Vegas. Oh, we're from Las Vegas. What the hell? So I met all these great people in line to get into Luft 3. As they're letting us in Luft 3, Patrick Long is the guy that let you in. Punch your ticket, right? And they'd say, "Oh, okay, park over here." They just kind of they live curated the show, and my Cabrio, because nobody liked Cabrios, was way in the back.
See previous episode.
Yeah, so see previous episode on my bitterness on that regard. But that said, it was just this organic thing. So when Luft 4 happened, we signed up and we paid for. I was I thought, okay, well, you pay. You're going to be part of the show. I didn't realize that there was a whole separate thing of being accepted, not accepted. And it's not like we don't know people. I mean, I know half the, Rod Emery and all those guys are people that we actually are fortunate enough to actually know. We could have called them and actually flexed a little bit and said, "Hey, make sure," or whatever. But we didn't think that was even necessary. So when we got there and it was "Oh no, you're just in the parking
lot." It was
lot.
Weird because there was a parking lot, a giant culvert or a ditch or something with huge fences.
Right.
And then you had to walk out of the parking lot along a sidewalk with the rest of the plebeians who didn't own air-cooled and hadn't driven 6 hours to get there. So you were treated like a normal person to get into the curated show, which was kind of a kick below the belt.
I would have been totally fine. I just didn't know that there was a separation, and so that was pretty lame, and it chided me a little bit. The best thing about that show, though, was that our good friend Derek Tanasalachai, God bless him, rest his soul, a young man who we lost way before his time, and the Professor Run on the Crest the day before legendary Professor Run. It was probably the most amazing Professor Run ever, but it took out cars, man.
Yeah.
Jarrett.
There were some things happened.
Paul Jarrett from God and Porsche, who are very good friends of ours, trailered in a real 1989 slant nose 930, factory slant nose 930. He trailered that in and then drove it on the Professor run and hit a rock that took out his fuel pump. And he had to leave the car on the furthest point out on the Angeles Crest. Leave it. He had to leave it there. And it wound up snowing that night.
It's still there to this day.
You might be able to find it. And just 20 minutes later, Derek and our friend Israel. Israel was in a Boxster, and Derek was in his dad's 89 911. They went around a corner. The legend has it that Israel came around the corner and there was a huge rock the size of a Volkswagen in the middle of the road. He tried to avoid it. He went one way. In order for Derek not to hit him, he had to take the inside line, which caused him to lose control and crash into a guardrail.
Right.
Now, that's not where he died.
No.
But he did destroy the car.
And then they parked. The police proceeded to then parade that car up on a flatbed trailer at the show, right?
Or who wasn't the police. No, Derek called AAA. AAA came out and put the car on a flatbed.
I thought the police had something to do with that.
And then he hired a flatbed to take the car and bring it to Luftgekühlt. And that was the first thing you saw.
Yeah,
he was like I have a parking pass. He shows up with a flatbed, his car wrecked. And then the Luftgekühlt guys are going, what are you doing? He's like, I paid for a pass, I'm parking my wrecked car here. And it was like the most popular car at the show because it was a wrecked 911. Oh, man, that kid was awesome. I miss him. God bless it. God dang, I miss Derek.
Yeah, he was a good one.
He was one of the best. So,
yeah, but I think each Luft, they learn something, and then they try to adapt. So you got to give them credit. Like, I think one of my big complaints about this last one in Indy was the merch. And I waited, like, typically if you've been to Luft before, you know you got to get in line right away if you want any chance of getting the size you want and the shirt that you want, which is dumb because just let me buy it online. First of all, you're charging me $60 for a t-shirt or whatever it is. And, you're going to make me wait in line at a show where if I can't see everything.
People would pay $60 for a t-shirt if they didn't have to wait in line for it?
Yeah, no. I would.
I don't think.
Oh, come on, I would.
Look, it's
sure.
It's standard. Like the nightclub is empty. Make everybody wait in line outside so they think they're missing out.
But here's
on
the thing. I didn't wait because I'm walking around looking at all the cars. So then I'm like, okay, I do want a shirt. So I get in line. I wait 25 minutes. I get to the front of the line. There's nothing there. There's one extra small t-shirt or something, right? So it's like, why don't you have somebody out there, first of all, saying, hey, all we have is a small. You still want to wait in 20 minutes in line? Number two, have more merch and have pace 20 people to take your money. I'm trying to give you money. Open up another register, okay? Karen here. I need another register open. I need to speak to your supervisor, whatever, your manager.
It's like that coffee joint. It was a Dutch Bros or something like that.
Yeah,
where they have the happy little chickie with an iPad, and they go out to the cars that are waiting in line. It's like, do you want a triple double latte, frappuccino, whatever bullshit? Sorry, just swore on our own show. If they would, it'd be awesome if they could just go out and talk to people in line and sell them stuff.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and they knew they screwed up because people complained about it, and then they sent out an email everyone that attended and said, hey, sorry about it, our bad. If you want to buy a shirt, now you can. And it was just like, I'm over it now. And I'm like, and
see, you say you would pay $60 for the t-shirt, but when you have the opportunity later, you're like, man, I don't need. If I have to suffer for it, I'm gonna pay the money. But if it's easy, you're only paying $25.
I own a bunch of Luft merch. So I bought 2 t-shirts. They are the most uncomfortable t-shirts I've ever owned because they're super heavy. I don't know, like this one's great, but they are like, the collar is tight. Here in Vegas, it's the hottest t-shirt I've ever owned. Like,
and you've got a day out.
So this is beautiful. This is like hemp. It's so comfortable. Like,
and it's the same company.
Yeah, they need to make this. Should be the Luft shirt right here.
There it is. I know Patrick Long is sitting there watching this
he's
show
watching.
going,
absolutely
he's going, Duane Wik and JP from Der Faszination. I better watch this.
That's right. We're customers, okay? We're his key demographic.
He's always like, it's the Der Faszination guy.
Yeah. Those are the guys with the rejected t-shirts.
I will throw a little scoop out there. He did call our good friend Ben the Professor.
Ooh.
So the little scoop for anyone watching the show, the 14 people that have watched this show.
Let's call Ben and find out more details.
It may just be that the Professor runs the official.
Oh. Wait, are you allowed to say that?
I don't know if I can say that, but it may be the show. Not the show, but it may be the Saturday Drive.
Awesome.
Just saying. So if you haven't,
I thought you were going to say that Luft 8 was at the Professor's house.
It's at the Professor's house. Yeah, he just bought a new house. So
parking is limited. Let's put it that way.
We're all camping at Ben's place. If you haven't made plans for Luft 8, you better start doing it. They have not announced exactly where it's going to be yet.
It's within 40 miles of 3 airports, which could basically be the entire LA.
Yeah, so just make your plan. Go ahead and plan to be in Los Angeles the weekend of the 9th of October.
Mm-hmm.
You can visit us there. We can't wait to see you. If you want to see us sooner, just come down to Las Vegas and see us at the Container Park. But really, if you want to get a lot of Duane and JP, just hit subscribe and like and notification button right now.
Yeah.
Do that. Spread the word. Let everybody know that Der or Die is back.
Yeah.
We're doing it every day.
Tons of bad ideas coming your way.
Maybe not every day. A couple times a week. Maybe 5 times a week. I don't know. Depends on how much this guy can handle being around me. But thanks for watching, guys. Check out Wik's Garage.
Yeah.
Check out Everyone Racers.
Racers.
We
race cars.
Everyone Racers. That's Mental's podcast with a bunch of great people. And check out my show on Pluto TV. That's Porsche Road Trip TV. .com. If you don't have Pluto, thank you very much, along with Adam Carolla. And check out the Der Faszination YouTube channel, as well as the Rami Show. We gave away a 500 SL last week.
Oh, did that go? I saw the Instagram. Did someone win it?
It was a beep show.
It was a hunt. What do they call that?
It was a scavenger hunt that ended with
It
just disaster.
Was truly epic.
I got to hear this story.
I can't wait for this episode to come out. It was so much fun.
We don't have footage of the fist fight that happened, but look, it was awesome. So look, if you want to see a train wreck and craziness, go check out the Rami Show. We have a great time. We're publishing a video there every week as well. Love you guys. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.